welcome back to my channel. For today's video we have another mystery box unboxing, and today's box is from Odens, which is, I believe, a Swedish makeup brand. I think that's how you pronounce it, or that's how I'm going to pronounce it for the majority of this video, and there probably are going to be a few other names that I butcher along the way, so apologies for that. This is a brand that I feel like has been mentioned quite a lot recently. I've seen so many people trying and loving their eyeshadow palettes, and I did want to give something from the brand a try myself. I have been going on their website kind of once a week for the past few weeks because I couldn't decide what I wanted to try. I just knew I wanted to try something. So when I seen they had a couple of mystery boxes available, I thought I would pick one of these up and kind of let fate decide which of the products I tried from this brand. So they did have a couple of options available for the mystery boxes. They did have one that was €25, which I believe claimed to have €40 worth of value, and then they had one that was €55, which claimed to have over €100 worth of value. I was originally just going to go for the €25 one, but when it was added to the basket and the cost of shipping and things like that, it wasn't much more expensive for me to kind of go for the bigger one, which is the €55 one, which is what I have here, because when you spend over €50 you do get free shipping. I also did use the discount code of Angelica Nyquist, which did knock off I think another €5, so with the discount and everything like that, it did probably work out maybe £10 or £15 more to get this one than the €25 one. And this one said it did contain basically double the value of that one, so I thought I'd go for the gamble. This one did end up costing me €49.50. That did come out of my bank at around about £43, which I think maybe the most I've spent on a mystery box in a long while. Kind of got a little bit too excited and wanted to try more. So it is quite a weighty box, so I need to put it down now, but let me show you the items that I did receive. This is how it comes. The items inside were packaged up a little bit neater, but I couldn't wait and kind of did break into everything. From first impressions of just opening everything up and kind of getting a feel for the packaging and everything like that, everything does feel like really good quality. Obviously I can't speak to the formulas or anything like that just yet, but just the packaging itself, it does feel like it's really good quality. Even this kind of box that the products were sent in is really durable, and there was no damage or anything like that, considering I think it did come from China, so it has come a long way, and there wasn't any issues or anything like that. In delivery time, it did take about 2 weeks to arrive. I didn't think to check before sitting down to film whether this mystery box is still available, so I will have it linked in the description box below if it is, but I do believe that it was quite popular, so I won't be surprised if it is now sold out. The first one on top here is one of their mini eyeshadow palettes. This is the Alva 2 Mini Ocean palette, and it does come in this absolutely gorgeous packaging. Just to note as well that this brand is cruelty free, and I've just noticed on the back that they do have one of those open signs as to how long you should keep makeup open for, and this one does actually say 36 months, which is that 3 years? I think that's 3 years, isn't it? A lot of my eyeshadow palettes have 6 months on the back, which I'm never going to get rid of my eyeshadow palette after 6 months. To be honest, I'm probably not going to get rid of one after 3 years if I love it. So I do appreciate that these have a decent longevity to them, and it does give me hopes for the formula. And then this is the actual palette itself, which has the same design as the outer sleeve, but it is quite weighty. It does feel like really good quality. You can feel a slight kind of embossment of the writing and things like that. And then it does have this beautiful artwork on it. And then inside it does have a mirror, and then these are the shades contained. This is a gorgeous palette that to me is very unique, especially in my collection. So we have this really pale blue here, we have this gorgeous kind of royal blue, then we have this split plan of a teal and an almost kind of lavender shimmer shade there. Then we have this rust kind of orangey shade, which looks to have a gold fleck in it. Then we have this deeper brown shade here, which appears to be a shimmer shade. I was going to swatch what I've received here today, but now I've reopened this palette again, I don't know how much use I will get out of this one. So when I was actually looking to make a purchase from Odens, it was one of these mini palettes that I was looking at. These do retail for €16.90, so I thought like that was a good price to just try one palette from the brand and see what they're like. But when I was looking at all the different ones available on the website, there wasn't one where the colour story immediately jumped out at me. I think they all have a kind of brighter shade in them that I didn't really know what to do with, and I think this might actually be the brightest out of the ones that was there. So this one I kind of know even less what to do with. I am really intrigued by the formula of this shade in the middle here. I don't know if it's going to be possibly more pressed glittery because it's separate, and I don't know how it's going to work with the dual pan, whether you can kind of mix them together. I'm not too sure. So I haven't yet decided whether I am going to use this palette or if it is a bit too out of my comfort zone. If that is the case, it will obviously just go into a future giveaway, which hopefully shouldn't be too far away because I will be doing one when I hit 1,000 subscribers. At last count, I was around about the 950 mark, so not too far off. But speaking of which, I do already have a giveaway live on my channel at the moment, which I will have linked in the description box, and that is a chance to win a Colourpop palette of your choice. So if you haven't yet entered that, be sure to check that out in the description box. Back to this one, I am really unsure whether to delve into this one or not, so for the time being I'm not going to swatch it, just in case I don't decide to keep it. It would obviously be a waste that it then is a used palette that I can't pass on. The next thing in the box is this dual-ended eyeshadow brush. It has a kind of tapered on one end and then a more kind of dense pencil brush at the other end. This one doesn't have a name, I think it is just a dual-ended eyeshadow brush. This does feel like quite decent quality. It's nice and soft, and I think it will be a good addition to my brush collection. I don't have many brushes this shape, and I think I do have one or two this shape, but maybe not this long of a bristle, so this one will be quite good to add. When I had a look on their website, this brush is actually for sale at the moment. It is usually €11.90, but it is for sale for €4.90 at the moment. But I think it is a nice little addition, especially if they are sending eyeshadow palettes, to throw a brush in as well, because their palettes don't come with them. The next thing in the box is this lip stain. This is the Alva Matte Lip Stain. This one is in the shade M201 Red Apple, and again, gorgeous packaging. I think everything is kind of like fairy themed from what I've seen on the things. It might be some other kind of mythical creatures, I'm not 100% sure. Probably something I should look into. It probably is something to do with Odin, whoever Odin is. Then this is the packaging, and it does look to be a really pretty red shade. I don't go for red lips very often, so this is another product that I'm not too sure whether I'm going to use it or not. And I do like the idea that it says lip stain, because that's my issue with red lipsticks, is when they fade it is a bit more obvious, but if it's a lip stain it might be a little bit better. So again, another product I haven't decided to use yet or not, so I'm not going to swatch this one either. This one retails for €12.90. The next thing in the mystery box is another lip product. This is the Alva Kiss of a Fairy lipstick, and this one is in the shade S101 Tulip a Kiss. This is definitely one of my favourite packagings. And here is the lipstick itself, and even the detail on the barrel of the lipstick there. This is a really deep, I'd say it's like a chocolate brown shade, so again, not what I tend to go for very often, but I do really want to try this formula, so I think I might give this one a go. So I think I might give this one a little swatch. It doesn't say if it is a cream or matte formula, it just says Kiss of a Fairy. I don't know how much I will suit this deep of a shade. I know I've got quite a deep shade on now, but I don't tend to go for this deep of a shade. But I've probably got a friend I can pass it on to if not, so I am going to give this one a swatch. It is a cream formula lipstick, and that did just glide on. It is really pretty, and it did glide on like a dream, so I'm hoping that's going to be a really nice shade, and I'll give that one a go. The next item I received is a highlighter palette. This is the Alva 2 highlighter palette. Again, absolutely gorgeous packaging. And again, the outside of the packaging is kind of textured as well, really good quality. And this one again has a mirror in it, and there is the highlighters contained. Definitely very out there colour story wise. I don't think I own a single blue highlighter, or I've ever worn blue highlighter. We have this one here with the gorgeous little imprint of the butterfly. Immediately looking at this palette, I think it's probably these two shades are going to be the only ones that I reach for. This is a gorgeous kind of champagne gold shade, and then this one here, it does look like it has a slight lavender shift to it, which would definitely be something different. This shade up here, Salamander, does look to be very chunky and a very kind of white glitter to it, so I don't know how much use I'd get out of that one. And then this shade here, which I'm not even going to try and pronounce, is obviously blue. I think I am going to keep hold of this one because I do think I will get good use out of at least this shade and possibly that one at all. I will obviously give the blue highlighter a go, but I'm not too sure, and then I will give this one a go as well. This one might be a nice kind of body highlighter on the shoulder blades, so I will keep this one and will give it a go. So in that case, I'm actually going to swatch the shades now. Because I've got that here, I'm just going to swatch them on this hand, so I am right-handed, so they're not going to be the best swatches. This is the shade Gnome, which is the shimmery gold one. It is a really pretty shade, and the kind of highlighter shades I go for, it is just intense, and actually now thinking about it, that would make a really nice eyeshadow, so I do need to check if these are eye safe. Now I'm going to go in for the shade Sylphs. I think that's how you say it. That is the lavender one with the butterfly imprint in it. I'm not going to touch the butterfly, I'm just going to go with the bit underneath it, and that is definitely lavender. And again, pretty intense, but really pretty, and something definitely unique to my collection. I don't think I've ever used a kind of lavender highlighter before. Then I'm going to go into the shade Salamander, which is the more chunky looking one, and it is smoother to the touch than I thought. That one's actually really nice and has definitely surprised me. It's not chunky at all, it did go on really smooth. It is slightly less opaque than the other ones, but it does have a really nice kind of silvery blue shift to it. So that is really nice. And I've realised I've spaced these out too much, I'm running out of room. So now I'm going to swatch the blue one, which is definitely blue and definitely intense. Swatch that down there. So yeah, that is the blue one. They are all really pretty, definitely better than I thought they were going to be. This one here is more of a silver blue. I don't know how much use I'd get out of it. This one's really pretty because it does have all different kind of rainbow type particles in it. Now I'm seeing it in this angle under the light, it's catching more. It does have a bit of a pink shift to it, the silver, bits of blue. So that is stunning. I don't know how well you can see it, what angle I'm showing you. That is a pure kind of lilac lavender highlighter, which is pretty, but I don't know how much use I get out of it. And then this one is a gorgeous, intense, bright gold. So out of all these, I thought it was going to be this shade here, Salamander, that I'd get the least use out of. But I think that's probably going to be my most reach for one, looking at these. But yeah, really impressed with that first impression swatch of the formula. And I'm really excited to delve into these and have something a little bit different in my highlighter collection. I'm just going to quickly remove these from my hands because I want to swatch the next thing. I have just removed those highlighters, but it has left quite a bit of kind of glitter shimmery particles on my hand, so that's probably going to catch the light now, but we'll just have to bear with it. I don't think I went over the prices of the last couple of items. This lipstick is €13.90 and the highlighter palette is €26.90. I don't know why things with euros are 90 cents. I suppose it's the way in the UK we always do things that are 99 pence, so they do 90, seems to be quite a frequent number. Then the final thing I received in this Odens Eye mystery box is another eyeshadow palette. This is the Alva eyeshadow palette, and again, really pretty packaging. Not as eye-catching as some of the other ones that we've had, but I think this might have been one of their first releases, so they've obviously upped their game with their artwork. Again, inside, textured and really good quality and a really pretty print. And then inside we have this really pretty colour story. So this has a few different mauves, purples, pinks, browns and some bright sort of yellow and orange shades here. Really pretty colour story. I don't overly reach for kind of purple and berry tones, but I feel like there's enough other shades in here that I could make this palette work for me. It does look like a fair mix of mattes and shimmers as well, which I'm really excited about. And I think to swatch, I definitely want to swatch this yellow shade here, Daisy. And then I think I'm going to swatch this golden tulip, which looks like a really pretty nude brown shade. And then I think I'm going to go for Dandelion because that looks to be catching the light with kind of purple flecks. And then I'm going to go for Baby's Breath as well. I do need to swatch another matte, probably, don't I? I just always tend to be drawn into shimmers, but I'll just swatch a few and then hopefully go through and show you which ones I've chosen. So here is that yellow shade Daisy, which is a really pretty shade. From the swatch, it does feel like a decent formula. It was nice and smooth to the touch. It did just take 2 passes over to come up with that level of pigment, so I think that will be quite nice. I can't tell from a swatch of a matte if it's got any kick up or anything. I'd obviously need to use a brush, but that is a really pretty shade. And I'm going to go in with that Golden Tulip shade, which is a shimmer. Almost like a kind of peachy champagne shimmer. That is a shade I will definitely get a lot of use out of. That is gorgeous, and that was a decent level of pigmentation, a nice metallic shine to it as well, so impressed with that shade. Then I think I'm going to go in with that Baby's Breath one on the top row. Again, nice and smooth to the touch. That one is a more warmer version of the one above, I think, a more orangey undertone to it, which definitely surprised me from the pan. That to me looks more like a neutral shade, but it definitely swatches more kind of coppery. I think I'm going to go in with, I was going to do Dandelion, but I think I'm actually going to go in with Carnation and Lotus. So that is the shade Carnation, which again, sort of similar colour story to these, which is absolutely fine because they're the shades I reach for a lot. Then we have the shade Lotus there, which is a really gorgeous mauvey purpley tone. Kind of want to keep swatching, but I'm running out of room, so I might just swatch one shade in a really awkward position. I want to go for something I've not gone for. I've gone for a lot of shimmers there that are kind of peach toned. I think I'm going to go for this one, Cosmos here, which looks like a deeper brown shade. No, I've changed my mind. I'm going to go for Coffee Bean, which is definitely a deeper brown shade. And I'm going to be really awkward and kind of swatch that here. So that is that one, and that was just one swipe. That again is a gorgeous shade and kind of pairs nicely with all the other ones that are there. Can I swatch another one? Because I now can't stop, and I'm really intrigued as to how they all are. I think I'm going to now swatch Cherry Blossom, which I don't think I've swatched. And that is this one here in the most awkward position. And that is an almost kind of rusty orange shade, but when it catches the light it does have pink flecks to it as well. None of these shades are kind of swatching how I thought they would, because that one definitely looked a little bit more pinker, but then as soon as I've kind of broke the surface of that, that is definitely a more coppery rush shade. I'm just going to swatch one more matte and then I'm done. I think I'm going to go for this shade here, Camellia, which looks to be a pink shade. This is a terrible swatch because it is on my knuckles where the skin's quite dry, but I just wanted to have a look. That is that one there. That one is a really pretty sort of deep pink berryish shade. So that is a kind of fair mix of some of the shades in this palette. I am really excited to play with this one properly. There are quite a few shades in here that are definitely right up my alley with the kind of ones I reach for. So yeah, really excited to play with this properly. And now I'm just thinking I just want to swatch this Sunflower shade because that looks pretty different. But I'm going to swatch this on the back of this hand. That is a gorgeous shade. My first thoughts when I seen that one was it's almost like that powder that you get on your fingers off the centre of a lily. If you touch the yellow bit on a lily and you get that powder over it, that's what I kind of thought of with that one, but obviously very shimmery. So that is a gorgeous yellow gold shade. So yeah, really impressed with this palette, and this one retails for €25.90. So I think out of everything that I was sent, I'm most excited to properly try this eyeshadow palette. And then even though it is a little bit more out there, I'm quite excited to delve a bit deeper into this highlighter palette. So both of these products alone are kind of worth over €50, which means I've more than got my £40 worth, and then everything else is kind of just a bonus. But really impressed with what I've tried so far, even though it is only swatching, and swatching obviously doesn't tell everything. I'm quite excited to give this kind of bolder lip colour for me a go as well. And then obviously we have the little eyeshadow brush to try as well. And then the only other two things that I'm not too sure whether I'm going to open are the mini eyeshadow palette and the lip stain. Totting up the value of everything using the price of the eyeshadow brush on sale, I total that the full value of this box is €101.40, which roughly comes out to about £88. So for my 40 something pounds, I've got £88 worth of value, which I think is great, and it is a great way for me to try quite a few different things from the brand. I did see on their website that they do have blushes available. I had kind of wanted to try one of them, but they are just single pan blushes, so they may have perhaps been in the smaller mystery box. But I am really glad that I did give it a little gamble and go for the larger mystery box, because I have got quite a few products here to try and to be able to fully test out this brand. But other than that, that is it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thanks.